my life has changed drastically. Drastically. Welcome back. First, I want to talk about how much I loved Rythmia and how much I feel I made the perfect choice of going to Rythmia. Doing ayahuasca and deciding to do ayahuasca is a very strong, powerful, and brave thing that you can bring yourself to do. Like I said, it is a calling. When I chose to go to Rythmia, I was very comfortable with my choice. From the minute I got to the airport, they were there to take my bags and whisk me away to the little area that you waited for your shuttle. And there you met other people that were going to be going to Rythmia as well. In the shuttle, they showed you a video by Jerry, gave you little snacks, just so comfortable and comforting, and you just, the excitement, every nervous feeling, every fear that I had was completely gone as soon as I left the airport in Costa Rica. And when I got to Rythmia and you pull up and there's these people there just welcoming you, and you see the beautiful landscapes and the sign, the helicopter pad right in front of Rythmia, I'm like, oh my God, I've been waiting to see this. The classes that you would take, they prepared you so much for what you were going to be going through. It really made you feel comfortable. The amount of love that you could feel and the energy and the positivity that you could feel in this space was mind-blowing. It's been 5 months since I got back from Rythmia. Obviously we are in quarantine still. Hopefully we're coming to the end of that. Things that you see and experience during an ayahuasca ceremony, directly after an ayahuasca ceremony, and then months after your ayahuasca ceremony are very, very different. It has taken me months, it took days to pick certain things apart and have those aha moments that they tell you about. The minute I got back to the Miami airport from Rythmia, I could feel the difference, the shift in the energy. Everything I was looking at seemed different. I was seeing everything through different eyes. Things felt brighter, but strange. You almost want to say, like, just take me back. I just want to go back to where I just came from. I'm not sure I'm ready for this. There's a big thing that is known when people go do ayahuasca. Their life changes in gigantic ways when they get back. Their life is never the same. My life is not the same. You constantly hear people leave relationships. Check. People move. And not only move houses, but move to different cities, different states, different countries. Check. People leave jobs. Check. I did not feel like any of these things were really going to happen to me when I got back. They all did. As far as changing jobs, I knew I wanted to eventually do that. I worked in the bar industry. Fun, the money's great, but can tend to be a very toxic environment. But I knew those changes were eventually going to happen anyway. The first month when I got back from Costa Rica was very smooth. Amazing. You're in euphoria. There is just happiness and energy and positivity flowing from you. Everything just seemed positive. Everything felt like it was heading in the right direction. I had found a new sense of self, a new self-love, a new power, a new bravery, a new strength, a new respect for everything about my life and myself. But I knew not to take any more bullshit from anybody and anything, that this was my journey, and any negativity that anybody else was going to put on me, like I said, is just a reflection in a mirror of them, and to not take it personally. So I was on a good path. I was feeling great. I was feeling good. Meditation, which was something that I've practiced for over a decade, came even easier and deeper. I would sink into these very deep meditations after this. Just fully connected. I felt very connected. The strange thing was going back to work. Obviously, I worked in the bar industry. So the first day I had gone to work, I worked a pretty easy shift, and it was actually kind of fun because I had a lot of my friends come in, a lot of people that wanted to hear about my experience. I couldn't wait to share with my friends about what I had just been through because it was an amazing experience. But then the first Friday night came along and it was right before Christmas, because like I said, I went in December. It was right before Christmas, so there were a lot of holiday parties, a lot of gatherings of people. And normally you would see these things and see it as people having fun, people getting together. In Miami, that's a little different. Yes, I could still see people having fun and getting together and celebrating holiday parties, and normally I would say to myself, I can't wait to do that. I can't wait to go to a holiday party. I can't wait to gather with friends and celebrate. But instead, I could see these people and hear the ruckus and hear the party, but all I could feel and sense coming off of them was a false sense of happiness. It was really weird. But it was strange. That feeling, because I kept working, obviously went away, and I kind of got back into the normal swing of things. New Year's rolled around, and I couldn't wait for 2020. I had had a really tough year in 2019, and I was really excited for 2020. I said, you know, when I did those ayahuasca ceremonies, that was my new year. That was my rebirth. That was the beginning of something new. Like I said, I felt like my relationship was moving forward, moving into the future that I had always wanted, what we had always talked about. That flipped around real fast. Now, the biggest thing that I got from ayahuasca, like I said, was the self-love, the self-power, and trust. I went in knowing that I had a problem with trust, trusting in the process, trusting in other people, trusting in myself, trusting my gut, and trusting my intuition were really big. After going through those ayahuasca ceremonies, if you've watched the videos of all the different ceremonies, you can see trust was a huge aspect of those ceremonies and something that I needed to learn. The last ceremony was very, very intense, where I could feel the negative energy being pulled out of me, and the clarity that I felt the next day and after leaving Rythmia, I knew all those negative energy blockages, all that negativity that had built up was gone. Fear was gone. Worry was gone. Doubt was gone. If I was ever gonna get one of those gut feelings again and didn't know if I could trust it because I didn't know if it was fear or if it was actually my intuition, I knew to trust the intuition. If I was ever gonna get one of those feelings again, it's your gut, and you're absolutely right. Now, I went there for a pretty specific reason, one of the main reason. There were a bunch of different little reasons why I went, but the main reason was to break a pattern, was to get rid of whatever was following me around or whatever I was reflecting on other people, to end up in these relationships that were secretive, secrets kept from me, betrayal, having no trust in these people or what was going to happen. The relationship I was in before I went to Rythmia was what I thought absolutely amazing. Like, it was amazing. There were no surface problems. There was an issue that I encountered in that relationship that was the breaking point of what had taken me to go do ayahuasca. But because of the love that I had and the person that I was, there's always a second chance. Gave them a second chance. And I told myself back then, you know, people mess up. But there will be no second chance. Middle of January of 2020, something started to feel not right. I was saying to myself, oh no, maybe it's the ayahuasca afterglow wearing off. Maybe it's fear coming back. Maybe this didn't work for me. And then that voice kicked in and said, no, bitch, that's your intuition. Listen to it. And I did. Come to find out, things were still happening behind my back that I would have no idea that was happening if my intuition wasn't so good. Now, when you go through something and a big change after you get back from ayahuasca, it is still your choice to figure out what you need to do to make that change. I feel like you will have the power and the new found self-love to make these changes, but it doesn't make whatever situation you're in really any easier. It still hurts, it's still heartbreak, it's still devastating. But you have been given the tools to get through it. I was given the tools to get through it, and I knew when I went to Rythmia and the messages that I was given, and even the timing that I went to Rythmia, was all part of the plan. It was all meant to happen. Like I said, I think I said it in one of the videos, I'm not sure. The videos that I took right after the ceremony, like I said, I was still even confused about what I had just witnessed, what I had just seen, what I had just felt, and you integrate that a lot, days, and it goes on for months. Your integration goes on for a long time, and you keep having these aha moments. I remember asking Mother Ayahuasca if she could show me my future, tell me my purpose. And the voice that I heard said, "Not today." Basically telling me, you came here for a certain reason and you got what you needed. You got what you wanted. I gave you the tools that you're gonna need and you're gonna have to use not too long from now. Also, in one of those visions, directly after I heard "not today," I did see the person that I was dating turning around and walking away. That scared the shit out of me during ceremony, because I was like, that's your fear, that's your fear, that's not gonna happen, that's not gonna happen. It did. Well, actually, it was more my choice. But that vision I carried it. It freaked me out. I carried it and I remembered it, but anytime I would tell the story to someone, I would always leave that part out. But whenever I got to that part in the story, I always remembered that actually happening. It was something that I kept trying to push away and trying not to listen to. Now, after I saw that is when I saw the number 29. I mentioned 29 in the other one, and I've had people ask me, what does 29 mean? So when I saw 29, I thought, what's gonna happen on the 29th? Something's gonna happen on the 29th. I need to look out for things that are gonna happen on the 29th. When I got home, I went a little deeper into that. I'm like, what could the meaning of 29 be? So I looked it up. I looked up, numerology, the angel numbers. 1111 follows me around everywhere. Every time I look at the clock, it's 1111. In the story previously, with the text messages from the ex from my dreams, and then getting my sandwich at the store and hearing that the total was 1111. 1111 follows me around everywhere. I woke up this morning. First thing I did, look at my phone, 1111. No joke, 1111 is creepily following me around everywhere. So number 29, I looked it up and I almost dropped the phone when I saw what the angel number 29 meant. Angel number 29 is trust in oneself. After all of those ceremonies about trust, after hearing "not today" and seeing this person turn around and walk away, and then the number 29, and then everything that happened in January, trust in yourself. Now also in numerology, 29, 2 plus 9 will equal out to master number 11. Oh my God. So shit hit the fan in January. And I said, I promised myself, there are no second chances. I am better than this. I am stronger than this. And I knew everything that I learned in those ceremonies was leading me up to this moment. I went to break a pattern. The funny thing is the person that I was with was the one who told me for the first time about ayahuasca when I had no idea what it was. So I never wanted to say that, I wasted my time in this relationship, because I didn't. Everything was good. Everything was good times. And this person brought me to the journey that I had to go on to find myself and to break that pattern. And when I was leaving, I said, you are my last purge. You are the piece that I have to get rid of to break this pattern. And the strength and the bravery and the power that I got back during those ceremonies was everything I needed to know that this was supposed to happen. But I knew I had to get out. After the relationship fell apart, or I found out what I needed to find out, I knew I had to get out. But I moved. I moved from Miami to Orlando. As soon as I moved up here is when quarantine happened. Days after our move-in date was when quarantine happened. Now, I also feel that happened at the exact perfect moment. What if I was still in Miami and then found out these things and then wasn't really able to do much about it because of what was happening in the world? I'd be stuck. Also, obviously being in quarantine is putting everyone in touch with themselves. So I have all this time to sit with myself and think about what I need. Think about who I am. Get that connection. Get my power back. Start over. Just like how I said in the first video explaining why I wanted to go to ayahuasca, how I was doing this all for a clean slate, I got my clean slate. Just like when I said when I was leaving Rythmia about how I don't need certain people, I don't need anything toxic. I was literally subconsciously preparing myself and realizing what was gonna happen. But in January, my whole world fell apart. It was painful. It was awful. It was the worst thing I have ever been through. But what I got from Mother Ayahuasca prepared me for all of it, and I couldn't be more grateful. There is still sadness. There is still confusion, but it feels like a new beginning. I'm not gonna lie, as soon as this happened at the end of January, I went into a dark place. I was suffering. But without what I learned from those ceremonies, it would have been so much worse. Whenever I would feel myself going really dark, really deep, starting to pick myself apart or question things, those memories from those ceremonies and those feelings of power and hearing that voice that night saying, I keep trying to tell you how powerful you are, I told you you could trust me, was me. And telling me, don't you go into that crazy dark place because this is happening. This is happening for a reason, no matter how bad it hurts. And you're gonna get through it because you're fucking strong. When the universe is trying to give you a message and you ignore it, especially after doing something so mind-opening as ayahuasca, when you come in contact with those situations again, the universe will shove them so deep in your face that you have no choice but to listen. When you have opened yourself up to that and realize your true self, when those things start to happen again, you're not getting away. And it's telling you, you have to make these decisions. You have to make these choices. Would I go do ayahuasca again? Absolutely. Yes. Right now, no. I'm gonna wait until I feel that calling again. Because when this first happened and this breakup happened and just this earth-shattering, world-ending situation happened to me, the first thing I wanted to do was run to another ayahuasca ceremony and get rid of these feelings. I just stopped, took a step back, and said, I don't need that right now. Because what I got from those ceremonies is exactly what I needed to apply to this situation. I don't need another ayahuasca ceremony right now. I need to take what I got from the first 4 and put them into my life. And then when I feel the need, feel the call again, I will be going back. Am I gonna go to Rythmia? I would go back to Rythmia in a second. I can't say enough amazing things about Rythmia. But I also would love to experience Taito Juanito again. He was amazing. His ceremonies were so full of energy and love and healing. It was unbelievable. I fell in love with him and his team and his brew and his ceremony and his love. The smile on that man's face is so genuine. And he does his own retreats down in Colombia. So could I go to Colombia? Also on the bucket list to go to Peru to do an ayahuasca ceremony. So who knows where it will take me and where my next journey will be. So I hope you enjoyed. I hope you got something out of this. The more I integrate things, the more aha moments I have. I would love to share them. It has been an absolutely life-changing experience. It's been tough, but it's been needed and it's been positive. And I know that it's all happening for a reason. If you've been to Rythmia, if you've done ayahuasca, I would love to hear some of your experiences. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Hang in there. The world will be back. Love and light.